Hi guys, and welcome back to another fly tying tutorial. The fly you see in the vise is an emerging pattern and there's a bit more to it than you might first think. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise is a Hanak H330 barbless. It's at size 10, it's on a medium wire and it's finished in bronze. The thread I'm going to be using today is from Troutline. It's their Sumo thread and as you can see it's at 50 denier, or you might not be able to see actually, the label's worn away. So, as always, I would probably get away with wax with the bronze finish here, but just out of habit, I'm going to put a bit of super glue on because I like it. And I think it does make a difference when it comes to stopping fly rotation. So, and what do I mean by fly rotation? Anyone that's kind of new or just starting out on their fly fishing and fly tying journey is when you buy some flies, if you grab the sort of point of the hook or around the point and see if you can twist with your fingers, the fly will sometimes move because the thread's not been waxed enough or bedded down. So first thing I'm going to do is get my thread to where I want it to come down to on the shank, and this is quite important because I'm going to use this as a measure for my body. Now I'm just going to get my thread out the way for the moment. Now if you follow the channel you'll have seen I've done a fly tying challenge with Brian Smith, ties flies. He's an excellent tyer, but when he sent out the material he also sent me some of this stuff which I've found really hard to source, and it's basically Peccary. It's a pig and this one looks like it's been dyed a sort of magenta colour. Now I've been playing about with this material and it makes absolutely stunning bodies. So that's why I'm going to tie this fly today for you. I'm going to use this as the body. So I'm just going to take away the tip section. I don't want that. Now you'll notice there's two bands of colour here. And what I want to do is get just a tiny amount of the black at the butt to start. I'm just catching that in. And then I can use this to bring my thread as a guide and touch and turns all the way back down. It's a really good material, I really like it, and I must try and pick up some more. I'd like it in the more natural colour actually, so without it being dyed I think it would make excellent bodies for buzzers and other emerging patterns, should I say. So I'm just going to build up a little bit more bulk in around the abdomen area here, and then I'll bring my thread all the way to the front. I'm going to get several turns in. Now with this it's quite robust, so I could put quite a lot of pressure on it, but just take your time, especially starting out. When you're starting out the abdomen, it's the same when you're using stripped peacock quills. You've just got to take your time to get that start, and then as you progress up the shank of the hook the whole thing starts to become a little easier. But I'm not sure how well the camera will pick up the segmentation I'm getting with this material. It's absolutely stunning. It looks great. I'm really pleased with it. I'm going to tie a bunch of these, and I think the colour actually it might be doing me a favour. Just something a little bit different. When there's a big hatch on and the fish have got lots to choose from, you want to present something that's just slightly different, whether that be in size, colour or profile. So I'm just going to, I've caught that in, and then I can come with my scissors and I'm going to remove that bit just there. Now I've not nailed that particularly well, but I'll just try and ease it in with my thumb there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is add a little tiny bit of flash. Now it might look like it's a large amount of flash, but by the time I finish the fly you'll see that only a very little amount is being shown. So I've just taken a little bit of Mirage Opal and I'm going to tie that in at the thorax. And this will just be another trigger point on the fly. So if I catch that in like so, I'm going to come over my tag end there, try and crush it down a bit, and then I can get just a couple of turns really, but because it's nice and wide, it doesn't take very much at all. So I'm going to catch that in like so. 3 turns it was in the end up. And the reason I've decided to do a dry fly, it's not very seasonable should I say. You know, we're getting towards the end of the season where you'll be using a lot less dries and looking more towards big lures and bugs for the river, I suppose. I'm going to bring my thread back now, just to how much of that I want to show. The next thing I'm going to do is add in a little bit of dubbing, and I've got some Troutline Pure Squirrel dub here, and this one's called Natural Blue Dun. It's a very fine dubbing and I don't need a whole lot. Definitely less is more with this fly, so you just need the tiniest amount onto your thread, and that should do me. So I'll bring that around now. Bring it up the shank like so, and then I can bring my thread in front of my dubbing. Now the next thing to do is, if you've got a bench like mine, you've got to locate your Velcro brush, and what I want to do is, holding onto the thread, I just want to ease out some of that dubbing, and this will give me the impression of legs on the fly. Just do your side. So that's probably a little bit more of that tinsel on show than I would have liked, if I'm honest. But it's okay. It's going to work. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is, I can't show you the packet because I'm quite literally down to this. And basically it's a poly yarn in brown. I think this one's from Fish On actually. It's quite thick. I need to pick up some more. I really like it. It's a nice shade of brown, and yeah, the packet's gone. I'm just looking for it on my bench, but it's away. So I'm going to bring that in, just measure it out, and then over my waste basket, well, over my bench actually, because I've got so little of it left, I've got to use every little bit. So I'll just use that last bit for another fly. I'm going to just bring my thread over to catch that end, and then I can sort of ease that out a bit, just get it to spread. Now, is it a little bit too long? No, I think it's going to be okay. Just get it to sit where I want, and I'm just going to come in and trim some of the outliers. It's going to be quite messy, but it's meant to look like that, honestly. Now, the next thing then, I'm going to use some of this stuff. Now, it's caribou. It's very similar to deer hair. It's got what it has got is longer points. Now, I've already put some in my stacker. I didn't want to rattle it round the bench while I was tying the fly, because the vice moves, the camera moves, and it all looks a bit rubbish. So I've already put it in the stacker and give it a good bang on the table before I started. Now, I wanted to show you this bit because people do have problems with deer hair type fibres, and you see it comes out the stacker like this. I'm going to grab it with my fingers. Now, before I put it in the stacker, I did comb it out with a brush to get as much of the under fur and loose ends out as possible. And then once it's out the stacker, I can just come with my fingers and remove any dead ends, like so. The next thing then is you've got to measure it up, because I'm going to cut this. So measure it up, see what length you want. That looks about right. And then over my waist, I'm going to just trim that up. Now, when you're working with deer hair, or in this case caribou, always pays to get a little bit of wax onto your thread. Just gives you that extra grip. I'll bring the deer hair back, and I'm going to just get a loop over initially. Now once I'm happy it's in, I'm going to come through my cut ends, and then I can trap it all in as best I can. Now, it's not a showstopper if you miss some of the cut ends, but catch as many as you can at this stage, and it will save you later on. So that's looking not too bad. It's a nice brown colour this, that's why I'm going to be using it. So I'm just going to drop my bobbin down and let the thread untangle itself, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to dig out another little bit of the pure squirrel dub. And again, I'm hardly looking for any kind of amount of material here. A packet should last you a lifetime, if you're just tying for yourself, of course. So I've got it out, and there it is. So what I want to do is to come in with my dubbing needle and split the thread. Now you can create a dubbing loop, but I think it just causes a lot of bulk with flies like this. So I just like to split the thread. It takes no effort at all. Then I can insert my little bit of dubbing, spin it up, talk amongst yourselves while it's doing its job. Now that looks a little thick to me, and it probably looks a little thick to you, but that is not a problem, because what we're going to do now is come in with our fingers and just pull some of that dubbing away. So what you end up with is a little brush, which is really quite delicate, I suppose. Now before I come over the nose of the fly, purists look away. Bit more super glue, and what this does is just help keep that dubbing in place. So I'll bring it round. I'm going to come all the way down through the head, and then just at the end here I'll make sure I've got all the dubbing onto the head there. Then to finish the fly, I'm simply going to come in with my super glue onto my thread once again. Then I can grab my whip finisher. Oh, slipped out there. And just a 3-turn whip finish. You don't want to have the white thread showing really. Then I can take that away. Now just to finish off the fly, I'm going to pull some of that dubbing up through the wing. Like so. Then if I turn it to let you see there, you'll see when it's sitting in the surface of the water, that little flash is going to act as a trigger point for the fly. So there we go. I would fish this as a single dry fly, or maybe as 2 dry flies with this on the point. It is a little large, but it's easier to tie tutorials on larger hooks, hence the size of this hook. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.